see how that works? Great. Okay, so everybody's had a chance to go through the syllabus. Everybody has had a chance to talk about what they had in common or some key characteristics. I'm not going to ask us to report out and all that. But let me check in to see if there were some specific questions that came up as you were looking over the syllabus stuff. Because now that I know that you had a chance to see it, you may have some questions. I'm just going to hit on the spokespersons for each table, just see if they have something they want to ask about. So this table, Amanda?
Does anyone know time when the test starts?
You don't have time when the tests start. Since I'm unfolding this schedule, I will certainly give you plenty of lead time to one of the, it's not gonna like Thursday, we're gonna have a test, I don't tell you until you get here. That's not gonna happen, it's not gonna be a surprise. I'm thinking there's certain conceptual places where it makes sense to do it, and it's kind of like every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and that means that there might be 2 or 3, but not more than 4 or something like that. But I'll give you plenty. Okay. Question from this group?
Will a score of 900 be an A or an A minus? Oh.
I don't know. Okay. So what I tried to give you is a kind of a crude idea as to how I'm kind of putting all this stuff together. And so I think the safe answer is to say yes, that it's going to be 900 is an A or an A minus. But I'm going to look to make sure that the grade you get is consistent with the quality of the work that you're doing, regardless of what the numbers are. And so what I gave you is kind of like the highest level at which they may work out, but if really good work is not hitting that number I indicated, I would scale that back a little bit. Okay? So don't treat those as like fixed, never going to change, whatever. They're certainly not going to get more rigid. They might relax a little bit. I've put together a set of points and a set of characteristics that I think is going to make sense. And I modeled it out in my computer with various things to make sure it made sense. But yeah, since the university lets me do A minus, B plus sorts of things, I will make those decisions. You know, maybe it's a happy circumstance where I don't have to make it practice. So I can't be more specific than that. Spokesperson from this group?
What is the format of the
They won't be multiple choice. They're more likely to be give you several questions where you have a choice. And there'll be some sort of application of the things that we talk about. And I'm playing with the idea that there'll be actually an individual component and a group component, because we do group things in here, so why make everything in the assessment individual? So it's more likely to require some writing, but it's not going to be long essays. It's more likely to be shorter things. So let's say that it's going to be writing. There might be an occasional draw a graph or something like that, and simple little calculations maybe, but that's not going to be the focal point. It's really going to be more about what you're expressing your understanding about stuff and applying it to different situations. So think more like an essay sort of situation. Okay. Something from this group?
We were going to ask about the challenges, but also like the cooperation points and collaboration awards.
Yeah, so the cooperation points, I have to remember how I label these things. So, yeah, so cooperation point. Right now, all of you guys are being cooperative, which means that you automatically get 25 points towards your score. So, I don't want to police people's behavior, but if I have a situation where I feel like I have to do that, you could lose some of those points. All right, so that's what it's there for. It's basically a bank that I'm not expecting them to touch, and you guys will be to learn that. The collaboration points is, since we're working collaboratively, and you're going to have an opportunity to work with different people on a regular basis, I'm going to let you guys contribute to somebody else's score. If you think someone is a particularly good collaborator, you're going to have a chance to give them some points. Because I'm not the one who's going to be working with you at the ground level each time. You're going to get a chance to work with each other. If you say, well, I've liked everybody I've worked with, I'm going to spread out my points evenly, you can do that. But if you think, well, this person's really very deserving because of what they did in the group and how they worked, and I'm going to give them more, you're going to have that option a couple of times. Okay? It's not gonna make a huge difference in anybody's grade, because I put a maximum on it, but it could help a little bit in some circumstances. This table?
Yeah, is there a final exam?
We won't have an explicit final. There's that, the poster at the end, and there's something written at the end, but we're not gonna have a comprehensive final in the way that Chem 4, 3, or 4 has typically.
Yep.
Another question from this group? Nothing else? Anything else from you guys? No?
Nope.
Nope. Anything else from you guys? Nope. Over there? Nope. Over here? Nope. Okay, good. All right. So, as I said, I've taught this course once before. This is kind of the format that we've done before and the way that we've done things. So, I'm kind of following that same pattern and relying on the good experiences I had last time. Okay, super. All right, now, let's talk a little bit about the video documentation stuff. I talked with everybody about that, right? At some point, and folks had the opportunity to do a release form on the video, and I also had a consent form in terms of research components. I'm pretty sure everybody's done that. If you haven't done that, check with me afterwards and we'll make sure to talk about that. So, what we're doing is basically, this is a National Science Foundation project. National Science Foundation is the government organization that takes your tax dollars and sends it out there for folks who are doing research in science to do whatever research questions they want to pursue in all areas of science. They also put out money to look at and study curriculum and teaching and learning. So what we're doing is, we were fortunate enough to get a grant last year to support this effort. And what we're doing here is, we're basically going to document this course so that other people who may not know what a course like this looks like, or may not have any idea what students talk about in a course like this, we'll document it so that somebody else can come back and look at it later. So we're not broadcasting it, and we're not just gonna like put it out there and then like throw it on TV and just let it run. We're gonna take snippets of it, package it, put it in a web environment, and there will be what's happening in class. We have a camera here, we have a camera there, we have a camera there, we have a GoPro camera up there. Some getting the whole scene, some getting individual groups. And the idea is, for our purposes, we're just running a class, okay? So this is not your opportunity to hit the big time by playing to the camera, okay? So, so I don't want you to act, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. You're certainly welcome to talk with me about that at any point if you do, if you're uncomfortable about anything. But all we're trying to do here is document the phenomenon of a course like this. And I think I described to most of you guys that if you've seen reality TV, it's kind of like that format. Stuff happens, and the stuff gets shown, and then people are talked to about what's happening. We're going to try to do it without all the drama that happens on TV, okay? So we're not going for those sorts of effects. But we are going to be interested in talking with you guys at several times during the semester about your experiences in terms of learning. The folks over here, the graduate student interns, we're going to be talking with them as they're participating and doing different things. And then there are going to be interviews with me about what's happening with the class as it goes. So we're trying to get all the perspectives about what's happening. And we're not trying to make it a perfect class. We're not trying to like do things with takes or anything like that. We're not going to repeat anything. We're just going to let it roll. And the idea is just to say, we're going to capture this. This is what it is. And then other people are going to be able to look at the class later and say, oh, there's something going on there that I like. Oh, there's something going on there that I'm not sure I understand, or what's that all about. And so they can use it, other instructors can use it to help them develop professionally, because they have a classroom they can talk about. Okay, so you guys are doing a valuable service by participating in this. And we're going to take the good, we're going to take the bad, we're going to take the challenges. We're just going to run it as a normal course and help you to get the most out of the learning. At the same time, you are helping us in terms of this project. So a couple other couple of precautions about stuff. So we're on camera all the time and there's audio on all the time, okay? So even though we're capturing everything, everything is not gonna be made available publicly because we're gonna edit. Sometimes, when it's really quiet and everybody's thinking you're working, you don't wanna show $5 of that. So, so we're gonna edit. You have to trust that in editing, we're going to catch and eliminate unimportant things that might be embarrassing. Okay? We don't know what that is yet because you never know when you're going to do something embarrassing. But so we're not going to be trying to highlight stuff like that. Conversations, yes. Difficulties in conversations about the subject matter, yes. Challenges like that. But we're not going out looking to embarrass anybody. And if something happens and we see it on the tape, that's not the thing that we're going to be taking to focus on. Everybody in here is human, and we're going to allow for that, and then we know that stuff is going to happen that you might have wanted to have. But you may want to think about that. You may want to think about, okay, so I'm on camera. You may want to think about what you're wearing and stuff like that. You don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't want to lose something important in a conversation because of something that might be embarrassing to somebody. So just, think a little bit about that, because like I said, there's 4 cameras going to be on here all the time. So just be a little bit careful about that. Okay, does anybody have any questions or concerns about that at this moment? And at any point during the semester, you're welcome to talk with me.